previously on Seasonpass TV. Tama ba yun? Okay.
Thank you pala.
Sige sir.
So, we're back, obviously. Gutom na ako. So, gusto ka na?
Okay naman.
Huwag mo ang cup mo. Huwag mo kuya.
Diyan lang.
So, again, Vintage Junkie Manila is our second part. Obviously, nagpalit na kami ng damit. Kasi ayaw lang pahalata sa inyo, same day lang din.
Inaamin din pala.
Okay. Masyado mahaba eh. Haba ng una eh.
Okay.
Thank you. So, my first question for this episode. Ano yung mga shirts or particular shows that you grew up watching as a child that kind of drive or drove your passion for hunting gems?
Gems. Ako siguro shirts lang for now. Parang bata, ayan. Siguro influence ko like video games, Street Fighter. Street Fighter talaga kasi. Sa akin na lahat ng toys ko and everything. Uncanny X-Men. Kailangan Uncanny X-Men. Specifically yung 8 PM na pinalalabas sa ABS-CBN. Ano pa ba?
Power Ranger?
Hindi ako masyadong fan ng Power Rangers kasi robot-robot sila. Hindi ako sa mga robot-robot, sa mga gadgets. More of fighting lang talaga. But yeah, nostalgic din siya sa akin.
So, more on the nostalgic shows with ABS-CBN, RPN 9.
Inahahandog ng ABS-CBN, yung mga ganyang era.
IBC 13.
IBC 13, pangit kasing signal eh. Pero usually, yeah, Shinchan.
Jiban, Jetman, Bioman, Master.
Yeah.
If you had all the money in the world to spend,
Sakit sa ulo. Yeah.
not always a good thing.
Yeah. True.
But,
Sorry.
if you had all the money to spend on one particular girl, ano yung unang mong bibili? If you had like $1 million to spend on vintage,
Hirap na, no?
you name one.
Specific siya na kailangan fudge. Medyo maglalaga ka ng one dyan, bro.
Oh, super.
Ikaw ba? Can you enlighten me? Ikaw? If ako magtatanong sa'yo, ikaw ano bang shirt yun? For some reason na...
Easy. I have two shows in mind. Again, to sa question yan. Conan the Adventurer, which was shown in ABS-CBN every 9 a.m.
Conan the Barbarian?
The Adventurer, the cartoon series.
Yeah, yung Conan the Barbarian. Sa 2? Child 2? Adventurer pa natawag na?
Conan the Adventurer.
Pero same guy, ito yung may spot na
same.
brown na...
Pero may mga kasama na siya. Si Grey Wolf, yung magic carpet siya.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
Sunday yun.
Saturday din yun, sir. Still.
Yun, kaya hindi ako nakakapanood na.
Yeah. Bago mag-Kids at Play.
Kids at work.
It's Kids at Play.
Kids at play, yeah. Kids at work yung place yung place.
Playground, no?
Tanda ko na. Yeah, totoo yun. Kasi I used to play there. Bata tayo. Shirt na yun. Ako, siguro All over print. Sorry, ano yun? Yung grail. No, Street Fighter.
Money isn't an issue.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Street Fighter na all over print. Napag-usapan na natin yan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kumbaga ngayon, kahit anong dumaan sa akin, okay lang. Medyo weird to. Hindi mo weird. Pero kasi recent na pumutok siya is yung Wanda. Yeah.
Mosquito head, yeah.
Wanda na mosquito head.
Ako,
Shady Fox.
ako,
Kaya it's medyo malungkot din na, alam mo yun, kasi alam ko hindi ko na rin siya makukuha. Kahit sabihin natin nakapag-ipon ka to buy it, yung stress to go through all of those, hindi siya worth it. So, siguro hindi yun nakatadhana for me during that time. Yun, tsaka Miles Davis na mosquito head. Rappi, hindi ako masyadong fan ngayon ng Rappi. Specific lang hinahanap ko. Ay, Chisaurus Rex, yun pa rin. Nahanap ko pa rin yun. Chisaurus Rex. Yung crack. The yellow dinosaur na nasa macaroni na box. Nahanap ko pa rin yun. Kahit wala akong million, kahit, alam mo yun, ayun.
Snack deep.
Oo.
So make the snack deep.
Sobra. Kasi yun yung nasa balikbayan box ng bata ko. That smell na nanggagaling sa box. Yung mga moments na gano'n.
May states.
Oo, Diyos ko. Yun yun.
Amoy PX.
Yun yung reason kung ba't ako nagko-collect ng snackies. It reminds me of my relatives' estates, tsaka yung pagbukas ng box.
The smell that
Yeah.
comes out the box. Oh.
Yun.
How about me personally as a bootleg maker? Again, I always come to you for advice. And I really appreciate it that you give me fabulous advice. And I really
And honest.
Yeah, very
honest reviews.
Yeah, these are honest reviews from a friend. And for a fact, I actually appreciate that you don't talk to me as a friend when you're giving advice. You're talking to me in the third person perspective. What's your stand on modern bootlegs?
Modern bootlegs, to be honest, kasi ngayon medyo nagpo-pop na ang dami ng gumagawa. Diba?
Yeah.
First is, one of them. One of the pioneers for bootlegs, to be honest. Modern bootleg na talagang you made it happen. Kumbaga. First is just quality. It sets all of the bootleggers, tama ba yung term ko? Bootleggers apart. The type of printing that they use, the type of shirts that they use, that's one, quality. Second is, dito na papasok yung skill, which is layout. Fan ako ng mga beautifully executed na shirts, layouts, kasi doon nagkakatalo yan. That somehow gives you an idea of the real thing, but somehow makes it, alam mo yun, that modern twist. Okay ako doon. In general, gusto ko ng mga bootleg shirts as long as maganda yung pagkakagawa. You pay, it's worth your money, you're paying. Tsaka, hindi masyadong, no one's overdoing it. Kasi yung iba minsan ang OA na yun, ang OA tingnan. Kaya minsan medyo tacky tingnan. Yeah. So, yun naman, yun lang sa akin.
Because I've seen a lot of bootleggers locally. They, again, not to bash on anyone, it's your craft, guys. It's do what you do, do what you do, how you want to do it. But on my personal eye, coming from a design student, used to be a design student, I see the modern rap tees that are just popping everywhere, left and right, and I see like, let me grab this photo from Google.
Yeah.
Let me cut it, and the cutting is not even.
Yeah. Because they thought it's that simple. It's not. It's not. I don't want to sound biased, pero I thought before it's as simple as cutting it, MS Paint nga lang gamit and whatnot. But when I saw you do it like for every streak, that sets you apart dun sa other na nag-bootleg. And the number of hours labor that a person brings out every time that he or she is creating those shirts is something that you pay for that. Irreplaceable then. Rather than just Yeah, correct. Google Images, cut, and paste. Hindi siya ganun kasimple. It's not like that.
You lay it out. Pagkasya sa A4.
Layout, yeah. The color combination, yeah. Those things.
So how about the newer reprints? What's your stand on? Okay, let's say I'm a new collector. You saw my collection, but it's all kind of reprint, printed tags.
Official.
Official.
I think the best would be, you used this before, yung liquid glue, weapon, not weapon, like overload.
Overload.
Yeah, overload. I'd still buy it. Given a chance, I'd still buy it. Kasi
It's still the
same shirt. If you really like that shirt, then so be it. Buy it. Unless if you're not into the design and you're more into the tags and the stitching, then don't buy it. Pero for me, personally, if I like a certain shirt, regardless if it's printed or whatnot, I'd still buy it as long as I really want the design.
So you're more design driven than stitching.
Yeah, most
Tags.
Oh,
That's a very refreshing thought.
yeah.
From
This is just again, it's just me. It's just me.
Yeah, no. But again, that's why we're having this conversation in the first place, because I kind of want to pick your brain on how you see things. That's why, again, very thankful for this party. Kahit same day namin to shoot. Thank you, Boss Dian, sa aking kuryente. How about your curation? What do you focus on?
Right now.
Yeah. What are you currently collecting? Because you had a phase where, I mean, you still have that phase.
Through after actually this pandemic taught us a lot, not just about the opportunities and everything. One of those things that I've learned is to cut down my curation or collection and just handing it over to people who can appreciate it better or more than me. So, if it asks me curation ko, talagang titrim down ko na siya. What I particularly focus on are pieces that I gravitate towards to. For example, art piece. Kasi, yun talaga yung hilig ko ever since. The Beavis and Butthead shirt, shout out kay Vintage Junkie. Kanina ko lang.
What files ko, hindi ko siya.
Yeah, nandun yun. Yun yung mga nakuha ko ngayon. Tapos ano pa ba? All over prints. But the rest, passing lang siya sa akin eh. It's more of, kumbaga mas nag-expand ako. Mas natutuwa ako kapag nakikita ko yung taong yun. Uy, nabubuo niya yung maraming rap piece na yun kasi gusto niya. Mas maganda yun.
And you remember when we were talking earlier, I said, if you're the same person that went to quarantine and you came out the same person, you didn't really grow at all, you didn't learn anything. Do you believe in that?
Oo naman, yeah. I think it applies to everyone. Majority of us changed our outlook after this pandemic happened. Who knew that this type of or sort of thing could happen? To lahat ng comfort zone, wala. Change of perspective. So yeah, yung narinig ko sa'yo yun kanina, talagang, okay na. That's true. This taught us a lot to be better as a person or as a curator or as a collector sa scene na to. Nagkaroon ng community actually after the pandemic na to. It's medyo ironic, no?
The
Bakit kasi?
community that we were trying to push for
Yeah.
late 2019 when we had, sadly that was the last time I saw everyone with at the old spot.
Ano eh? It revolves mainly on those people only because probably people are just too shy or just find it too intimidating. Baka napagkakama ng gatekeepers. But the thing is, we really want people to come. Yun yung misconception din eh. The good thing, itong pandemic, since it doesn't require you physical presence, nag-open up ang itong different avenues. For example, yung Seasonpass RT, Madonna Live, and the rest na nasa Facebook Live. Lahat care enough to introduce themselves, we get to know each other. Tapos yun, hence nabuo na yung buyer-seller collector community, which is So we grew not just a person, but as a group, as a circle, as a community. Yeah.
Because we have a lot of good curators. We have Please Collect. We have
We have great sellers and great curators. Great eye sa paghahanap. Great people that can actually hoard stuff and keep holding onto it.
It takes a dubious amount of patience.
True.
With regards to, keeping and selling at the right
Ang
time.
hirap. Sobrang hirap. It's really hard. I used to just hoard a lot of stuff. Me personally, again, hindi naman naging tukol din sa tao, pero isakit ko yun eh. I hoard a lot of stuff. Until you reach a certain point na, ba't mo ba siya tinatago? Does it spark joy? Why are you keeping it? Kaysa ano man. But hats off to those who really curates their stuff and collects and maintains that collection. That's good.
What did you grow up watching?
Natawa ko. Watching like cartoons ba daw?
Yeah, cartoons. Because
More of Filipino movies.
I hope it's safe to assume that we're both the type of kids
Yeah.
that didn't get cable TV here in the Philippines up until 5th, 6th grade.
Okay, sorry, I tried to think ng again, the ABS-CBN cartoons. Kasi by that time, walang cartoons, walang cable. Cartoon Network, Powerpuff Girls era, siguro mid-1997 to 2000s, yeah, Hanna-Barbera,
It's cartoon.
Cartoon, Dexter's Lab. Yun talaga masasabi ko, I was like grade 3. After nun, ano ba mga cartoons?
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, okay, that's a good question. Beavis and Butthead, kaya ko siya gusto. It reminds me of the two sisters that I have when they watch MTV. I don't understand why they're watching it. Daria, Beavis and Butthead, yeah, talagang nostalgic sa akin. Kasi yung MTV before, the graphics are really like psychedelic, really out of this world.
Very drippy.
Very trippy. So, kaya ko siya nagustuhan in the first place. I got to watch Beavis and Butthead, siguro high school na ako. And it was no more reruns and stuff like that. Yun. Ano pa ba? Yeah, basically that.
How about, because you're an avid video game tea collector as well, specifically Street Fighter.
Fighting games.
Fighting games. What's your favorite? Okay, what's better for you? Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
So, nagkaroon ng brownout bigla. So, balik ulit tayo sa usapan natin. Which is, again, fighting games, going back. What would you prefer more? Are you a Street Fighter guy or are you a Mortal Kombat fan?
Okay. Both talaga. So, fan ko both. Pero mas appreciate yung Street Fighter.
So, it hits different. This
Yeah, most definitely.
Who's your favorite character?
Ako, Akuma.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, Akuma, sagad. Kasi, yun yung dinodrawing ko ng bata ko.
So, if you guys don't know, our third or fourth meeting, this guy came to our house. We did the whole basement stash thing. Wala pang auction nun. It was like we were live selling. We were live selling on IGTV,
After
on
lockdown.
JJ's IGTV. Please collect, follow him here. And that was such a fun experience. And this guy, he brought me a couple of toys.
Yeah.
Not Basta's toys. Actual toys, yeah. And I remember you bringing 3 figures. You got Blanca, Balrog, and Sagat. Yeah. And I still have those pieces to this day. And which goes to show how, again, Irv is very much into Street Fighter.
And it takes a lot. Kasi usually, if I pass on something from my collection or sa stash ko, or in general, it means nakita ko yung same passion, the level of passion or interest sa ganun. So, walang kaabog-abog. Hindi ako na sa'yo. That's fine.
Thank you.
Grade 2 pa ako na.
Yun yung...
8 years
So
old.
you stole that from your
Oo.
classmate.
Sorry, Paul.
Thank you.
Kung nakita mo daw, kinuha ko sa backpack mo talaga.
Alright, since we're on the topic of fighting games, since we're approaching the end of this
Yeah.
round 2 episode, if you get my drift. Sorry, Sean. What's your stand on this particular topic, which is a piece of clothing really a good enough reason to lose friends over, screw people over,
Okay.
you know, break relationships, burn bridges, and whatnot? I want to hear your very honest and, you know, upfront opinion on that.
Mahirap eh. I mean, hindi mahirap. Actually, it's very easy. Sorry. Ang hirap lang tingnan. It's very hard for me to see that it's really happening here sa community natin. Mostly, it's not just the piece of cloth or shirt itself. It's money. If the main reason why they're fighting because both of them really wanted the shirt, that's kind of different. But again, it's not worth losing the friends or the people you roll with just because of a shirt. As simple as that. Uso na nga, hindi mauso, pero it goes around na ngayon. Tela lang yan. Medyo cheesy pakinggan, pero totoo, tela lang yan. And there is a lot of shirts willing to be bought abroad or nasa thrift ba or whatnot. Mahanap yan. So it's not worth losing people that you connect with or within your community or close friends just because of these shirts. If I saw anyone or like groups of people ranting or being too dramatic in terms of shirts, it really hurts as a bilang observer or someone that really looks up. Kasi ako, I really look up to the community because of the jive and the all of the things that we contribute to or in sa loob ng nangyayari. So it's bad. Ako, it's bad business. Ang pangit tingnan unless you're the type of person who really enjoys na, uy, ayaw ko sa taong yan or ano may nag-aaway. Ang pangit. It really hurts na nababahiran siya ng ganung issue. So my stand on it, it's not worth losing your friends. I think the feud or the beef that happens is mostly about money and clout and ego. Hindi natin kailangan ng ganun sa ano eh. Kasi these people who are looking for clout or ego, short-lived lang yan. Sila rin yung tipo ng tumatalon-talon ng different stuff. So, sakit. Ang hirap. Ang hirap pakinggan, ang sakit makita.
And again, I was talking to Renzo that one time.
Yeah, Popsy.
Popsy. We were talking about, you know, if you're doing, you know, if you're into vintage because of money, that's fine. Again, if you're doing that to put food on your table, to provide for your family, bless your heart, you know. But if you're doing this for, you know, just personal selfish gain, this isn't like the business for you.
True.
This community is built on, you know, friendships, connections. That's why we're here right now. That's why we're here tonight, talking about the similar passions that we have. That's why we are able to have the shoot here scot-free.
True.
Is because, you know, the community is kind enough to let us borrow the space. With that being said, relationships over, you know.
Most definitely, and it's not worth you beef with each other or magkakaroon ka ng issue sa isang tao. You never know. Kasi that specific person, true, that's correct. Parang that person may help you. Unconsciously or hindi ka aware, in the future, matulungan ng tao yan. Mas masarap, it's really good to know na instead of you known for being this person that may beef ka with other sellers or whatnot, just be that better person na contribute sa community. Mas maganda yun. It's more heartwarming.
And okay, not to segue and make this about you know my personal issues and all that, but I specifically remember December 2020 was the month that I hopped on Church's auction.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell it time and time again until I have kids, you know. He gave me a second win, but not just that. That's where I learned how to be transparent with everyone around me. Again, I don't mean to be super emotional. I'm not usually like this, but when we had that talk, I was like, yeah, this community is real. It's not a one-off type deal. Yeah, sure, you deal clothes, you get stupid amounts of money from these pieces of clothing, but that comes and goes. Money comes and goes, but the relationships you build within the community, that's what's gonna keep you at through trying times.
And it helps you build a good character or a great character. What I really admire to that is, if you did something you think that is wrong sa community, first step is to acknowledge it. You acknowledge it, tanggapin mo. Tayo meron tayong nagagawa right? So, that's fine. Then you acknowledge it, you accept it, then you change. Simple as that.
Then you move forward.
Be that example.
Move forward, and as much as you can, you try to avoid the same
naman.
potholes and all that. Because again, we're not gods, we're not celestials.
Only humans.
we're not cosmic beings that don't commit mistakes. People will make mistakes.
True.
It's how they handle the mistakes and how they change and grow from that mistake is what really clearly defines someone who is within the community. Because this is our same place,
It's more than clothes.
Yeah, this is not really just a community anymore. It's becoming a world on its own.
Yeah. Not just locally,
Not just locally, internationally. We have friends, Southeast Asia, Thailand. Shout out to Toko. And it's very again, it's very heartwarming to see the appreciation and the warmth that we have. Not just us being acquainted through Instagram, and we're just making deals and we're just pushing for the money. Let me get that piece. Again, it's easy to have stupid amounts of money and buy what you want, but what you can't buy is this. This type of conversation.
It's very serene. Kahit minsan, I still smile if I get to realize na grabe, just because of these shirts that builds our character and to be better to build this community. Ibang klase. I'm really amazed and thankful. Yes.
And again, I'm very thankful that we were able to have this conversation. It's really rare to have Irv on any kinds of shows.
Kasi I'm alive.
He's not really a live person. Well, he is alive, but he's not usually live. But
I rather talk to people personal.
Yeah, that's why. Again, we're gonna try and make this a thing. We're gonna break the virtual barrier as much as we can here at Seasonpass. We have a lot of outlets that we push forward for the community, And again, with that being said, brother, thank you for having this conversation with me. A two-part conversation, same night.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you soon. I hope you guys are staying safe. And
stay safe.
Stay safe. Wash your hands.
Wear a mask.
Tsaka, kung napapanood nyo ito ngayon, happy anniversary sa quarantine.
Yeah, lockdown. Peace.
Good night.
Thank you.